Well, here we are. Greetings from a soggy Saturday morning in Anderson, Indiana. This is the introduction for week 14. We are entering the last 3 weeks of class. Hard to believe, at least for me, it is. And as always, I'm reluctant for the class to be over. But because there's so much more to talk about and deal with and think about, to focus on. In a very real sense, there's no class that can cover the subjects under consideration. There's simply too much that's important. Teachers are able only to choose what they think is the most important among a wide range of important topics. Obviously, this is truer in an introductory course, especially an introduction to spiritual ministerial formation. Yet the course must come to an end. The calendar says so. The syllabus says so. Your life says so. And these last weeks, these 2 or 3 last weeks, are my attempt to create a kind of a paradox, closure and opening. I think those always, frankly, go together. The door closes one way, but it ends up opening into another. My task is to try to tie this together in some meaningful way, even as I hope to encourage you to continue this journey. Let me give you a personal context. Many years ago, I was in a deep and dark space, perhaps the darkest space of my life. Working hard in the life of the college where I worked to keep my nose above water and not being particularly successful at that, just barely not drowning. I had some serious kind of physical problems that were occurring, or at least I thought of them as physical. And I had started weekly appointments with my doctor, who was, believe me, exploring every possibility, every nook and cranny of my physical self. Thorough, to say the least. About the third time we met, he began with a series of questions that were clear but kind of confusing to me. But about the next time, the third time, or the fourth time, I guess, he asked me the same set of questions. At the 5th week, again, the same questions. Yeah, clearly I'm a little slow on the pickup, but I did finally ask, Dr. Kono, why do you keep asking me these questions? His response, hospital protocol. Huh? Said I. Brilliant response. Protocol for what? His response shook me to the ground of my being. For those who may be suicidally depressed. Oh, again, my brilliant response. Oh. And then we went on with the next part of the physical examination. But it was a wake-up call. I wasn't, by the way, for those, but the protocol did wake me up to know that there was something more going on that was not going to be resolved by medical science. To make a very long story way shorter, I found myself a spiritual director, a Franciscan nun named Mary Smith, such a dramatic name, this diminutive woman, kind, considerate, loving, and concerned, became a lifeline for me. My challenge was spiritual. deeply spiritual because it revolved to a great extent around my calling to teach and not being really able to. I won't go into the details except to say that for the next year, I spent a weekly hour plus with Mary, being heard, seen, and cared for as she, I, and the Holy Spirit brought me out of the dark. Our relationship, Mary and my relationship, continued for about 3 years. But our times together grew farther apart, even as she connected me with a group of others for whom she was a director. And I became involved in the ongoing ministry of the Franciscan Renewal Center, an experience that saved my life and got me back on the path of my vocation. My relationship with Mary only came to a face-to-face change when I left Warner Pacific College and moved back to Anderson to begin something more connected to my vocation. Why am I telling you this? Well, there are a few reasons. One is to say that the relationship came to an end, or rather was transformed into a new relationship. Another is to let you know that there is a wide range of persons available to help you on your journey. Spiritual directors from many different backgrounds are key helpers who come alongside, who help us, who can help us find our way. And if you want to know more about that, let me know and I'll try to fill you in. Another is to say that while this class comes to an end, your journey doesn't have to. In fact, I should be so bold enough to say that it mustn't end. And I hope and pray that whatever else this course may have done for you, you have found ways and means to continue this journey for the rest of your life. I care about you. I have some awareness of the demands of vocation and the damage that can occur. And if there's a way that I can be of service to you as your journey continues, I try to be a hospitable person. This week, I am returning us to Willard's book. This is a change, so pay attention. To Willard's book, The Great Omission. At the end of this book is a brief section titled A Parting Word as You Go. I say more about this in the reflection prompt. I want to say here only, it's a short read, only about 5 pages, but I think it's an important kind of final word that begins with this sentence, what to do now. 3 final words. Number 1, don't forget the projects. Keep working on those. Second, if you are struggling with getting some of those assignments done, relax a little. There's time on the calendar, so don't rush. There are due dates, but I'm flexible. You still need to finish the work. Just be in touch. Keep me informed of what's going on, as some of you have done. Finally, on Canvas, you should find the link to the course evaluation. This feedback is very important to me and the university. Please and the seminary in particular, please take the time to help me be a better teacher and to make the course a better and more helpful experience. For now, as usual, blessings on the journey. Looking forward to our conversation.